A shocking accident at a busy residential corner.
Grateful that it wasn't worse, because we could have been in much worse condition that night.
A near miss for two kids and their dad after a driver blows a stop sign. Plus, Calgary Council debates changes to how you use water at home.
So right now, about 25% of the City of Calgary's treated water is lost due to the aging nature of infrastructure.
Will asking people to cut back voluntarily actually work?
There are going to be the people that go, well, I don't really need to follow it if there's no restrictions.
And out on a limb to keep this gorgeous greenery in tip-top shape.
When I first moved here and started trimming it took me 5 hours. Now it takes me 5 days.
Even in his 80s, this dedicated homeowner is going to great heights for his passion project.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news from City Hall tonight. Calgary will be moving ahead with a water efficiency plan, including an outdoor watering schedule. It will limit when you're able to water your garden and lawn. Jordan Canagan is at City Hall tonight with more. And Jordan, it's a plan that just went through, but not without some pushback.
Tara, there was a lengthy discussion overall today about whether outdoor watering schedules should be voluntary or mandatory. In the end, though, the overall water efficiency plan passed just moments ago on a 10-5 vote, and it does include a mandatory outdoor watering schedule. It means that you will be limited on when you can use your sprinklers, for instance, based on your home address. Now, it's something that Council has debated a lot about over the last several weeks. It's also something that gardeners have wondered about for years now. It's been a slow start to the spring growing season in Calgary.
With all that lovely snow and the holding of the moisture because of the bark, we're getting buds. And it's beautiful. Spring is actually happening in its normal cycle.
But a looming question for this year and beyond involves Calgary's water usage. The city is aiming to reduce demand by 20% by the year 2040.
Ultimately, this is a good plan, and we should implement it now rather than later. We're actually behind everyone else on this. Others have started implementing similar policies back in 2012.
But the city's proposal to implement an outdoor watering schedule has been contentious. Hundreds of emails flooded council inboxes over the weekend.
I don't support mandatory restrictions outside of extreme drought or emergency situations.
What a lot of people think is an overreaching government ability to potentially shut your water off for non-compliance.
The city's water infrastructure is also under the microscope. Calgary currently loses more than 20% of its water through cracks and breaks in its aging system.
I think when the city of Calgary is losing 21%, that's over 100 million litres a day. We have to start with capital. We have to start with education.
This horticulturist believes that proactive approach should include a watering schedule as well.
Gardens need a little bit different care. However, with good tree roots and good shrub roots and perennials established around in the garden, you will see that they don't seem to suffer too much and they do just fine.
Now, the city says it will take an education-first approach to this, so don't expect to see tickets handed out right away. Now, Calgary is not the first community to pass an outdoor watering schedule like this. In fact, many of the surrounding communities around this city have passed one in years prior, including High River, Okotoks, Strathmore. Those are all some of the communities nearby that have their own versions of this outdoor watering schedule and restrictions on when residents can use sprinklers. Tara?
Okay, Jordan, thank you. The city relaunched its pipe diver today to inspect a section of the Bears Paw South feeder main. Earlier this month, attempts to inspect a steel portion of the pipe failed because the pipe diver stopped moving. That pipe diver gathers data about the condition of the pipe. Results then take about a month to analyze. We have video now of a crash that would make anyone jump, but it is especially alarming because it happened just feet from two children. Shared on social media this week, it shows the moment that two cars collide at high speed and then slide across the front lawn as the children are leaving the house. Alicia Philberg joins us from Mahogany tonight. Alicia, it happened right at that intersection you're at.
Tara, an SUV was heading south down this road when it blew a stop sign and a car was heading east. They collided, ending up over here, crashing into the support beam of this home. Now, it was the quick thinking of the 7-year-old boy standing there that likely saved his life. As a family leaves home for school, 2 vehicles crash into their front porch. This 7-year-old boy darts up the stairs to safety while his dad and 3-year-old brother take cover near the garage. Katie McKay had just left for work minutes earlier when her husband called about the crash. But it wasn't until she looked at their security footage that she understood how close it was to ending differently.
It was shocking to see the video because, I didn't realize how close it came to hitting my children. There's a lot of things that went right that day. Like the rock that stopped the white car from hitting my husband, and then my son having such a quick reaction to seeing a car barreling towards him.
Police say a man driving a black SUV south on Magnolia Passage Southeast blew a stop sign and collided with a white car driven by a woman traveling east toward the same intersection. Both drivers were slightly injured. The man driving the SUV was charged for failing to stop at a stop sign. Nicole Heisler lives in another corner lot at the intersection and saw the crash happen.
And I saw their son right at the front there. And I thought he had gotten hit. So I screamed and I ran outside. Sorry. This is super emotional for me because it's almost happened a few times with our kids. So
she often sees dangerous driving in the community.
Everywhere, it's a racetrack.
And even made her own sign hoping to promote safety. She and McKay want to see the intersection converted to a 4-way stop.
I want people to pay attention. It's enough of this.
The area councillor says City Hall will take a look.
It's very concerning. This one is now new to the radar for our office, and we will be following up.
McKay warns drivers to consider what they're risking when they hit the road.
People on this road drive way too fast, and there are kids playing out in the yard. If you're behind the wheel, use caution. Never worth someone's life.
Now, the family in this home wasn't physically hurt, but of course they're extremely shaken up, especially that 7-year-old boy who's had several nightmares about this. The support beam on the home was also damaged. You might be able to see some of the rocks on the porch there, and the family isn't sure if insurance will cover the costs. And police say that the consequences could have been far more serious and say this is a stark reminder to obey traffic laws and be attentive when behind the wheel, especially when in a residential zone. Residents here say that this intersection used to be uncontrolled, and then they raised safety concerns, and a few years ago the city did add these 2 stop signs, which they're now hoping to turn into 4 stop signs. Tara?
Okay, Alicia, thank you for that. Council has decided to extend how long transit users can use their ticket transfers. The length of time will go from 1.5 hours to 2 hours. The change takes effect in January, and the move will cost $2 million annually. In Calgary's Roxborough neighborhood, one man has spent more than 5 decades growing something pretty special, a row of trees. But this isn't just any row of trees. He has turned them into a sky-high hedge that is still very much a work in progress. Here's Kevin Green.
It started as a few modest Colorado spruce trees back in 1969. Gordon Beck nurtured them into a 10-meter-high hedge.
It just developed over the years. I never even gave a thought to what it was, the chore it was going to be when it got bigger and as I got older.
Beck's hedge stretches the length of his yard, towering above it, trimmed and shaped year after year into a dense wall of green.
Well, when I first moved here and started trimming it took me 5 hours. Now it takes me 5 days because I've slowed down and it's gotten bigger. I've created a monster.
A monster he's learned to tame, but it takes work, and at 87, he's still the one climbing the ladder to keep it in check.
Life is what you make it, And if you want to stay healthy, you better get some exercise.
He still follows all the safety protocols from his days as a power lineman. Hard hat, glasses, boots, and a tethered harness. Even so, his wife Doreen finds it hard to watch.
Well, there are many times when I've threatened to take his ladders away from him.
For 2 decades, his spotter on the ground, family friend Amelia Lamb, has made sure every trim goes off without a hitch.
He tried to train me, but I'm not that strong enough to going up there. And just holding the machine by one hand, no way I can make it.
Beck's hedge has become a defining part of the neighborhood.
It's a work of art, and I walk by it Almost daily. I really appreciate him and his wife and the effort they put into our community to make it a beautiful place to live.
He says those compliments help keep him climbing the ladder.
That sort of gives you a feeling of pride and accomplishment.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Beautiful. Now, in case you're wondering about city bylaws, Gordon Beck has checked with the city over the years. His hedge does not impede traffic sight lines or block the sidewalk, and it only casts shadows onto the road.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A community near Fort McMurray is under evacuation alert. A 25-kilometer-long ice jam on the Athabasca River could cause flooding. 140 people who live in Draper have been told they should be ready to evacuate on short notice. The ice jam has caused the Athabasca River to rise. It comes days after drivers near Fort McMurray were trapped on highways during a sudden spring snowstorm. An evacuation order could be triggered if water levels continue to go up.
There's two roadways that are impacted by the water levels right now, meaning water's over top of the road. So it's more about I guess a concern around egress, making sure that if the water levels get too high, that they can get out.
People who live in Draper are urged to prepare a 72-hour emergency kit and to make an emergency plan. Danielle joins us now. I mean, any snow still in place is going to be having some rapid melting this week.
Oh, yes. This is a good news story for us in southern Alberta. While we're still dealing with a little bit of instability, this ridge of high pressure is just getting started here. And for the next few days, we're looking at a lot of sunshine and a lot of warmth getting into the 20s. All right. So we talked about late day instability for today, and you can see that really. Calgary off to the west, down along Highway 2 towards Lethbridge. Pincher Creek included in this possibility as well. Isolated showers, potentially even a non-severe thunderstorm in some spots as well, right up until about 10 o'clock tonight. 12 degrees is the temperature at the moment. We got up to 13 earlier today. A normal daytime high is 14. So we're where we should be for this time of year. We'll get even a little warmer tomorrow with just a mix of sun and clouds. So a stunning day on tap for us tomorrow. More details coming up.
Hometown heroes from the Milano Cortina Olympics were honored in City Council chambers today. Athletes, their coaches, support teams, and family members were recognized by council for their accomplishments at the Winter Games in Italy. 14 medalists from the Olympics and Paralympics live or train in the Calgary area.
To be able to represent the community that brought me to this point, it's an absolute honor, and I just hope that it inspires the future generation of athletes that are to come after us.
It means the world. I mean, being born and raised here in Calgary, this city is kind of all I've really known for my whole adult life, and I really appreciate having the recognition from City Council.
Each athlete received a letter and a copy of a proclamation marking today as Olympian and Paralympian Salute Day. Just ahead, breaking down a spring mini budget. What's in that economic update from Ottawa and what's not? And a popular Calgary petting zoo is closed right now after it was hit with a parasite. We have those details just ahead. The Mark Carney government unveiled its spring economic statement today. Despite a decreased deficit, the numbers tell a slightly different story. There are not many new affordability measures, and local businesses hope to see more support. Tyson Fedor reports.
$37.5 billion of new spending over the next 5 years. A new skills training program will bring 80 to 100,000 skilled tradespeople to Canada to help with home building and major projects.
The lack of labor has pushed up costs for all sorts of projects. And so to have a greater supply of labor available will mean that the cost pressures won't be as high.
The federal deficit is also shrinking.
We have lowered our projected deficit for 2025, 2026 by more than $11 billion. This is at the core of being fiscally prudent.
But a path to balance is not in the cards over the next 5 years.
It's a really bad roller coaster ride right now. We're going up and down constantly, and we're staying the same point. It doesn't seem as good as it used to be. If I was living on my own, I feel like I would feel the economics a lot more.
Calgary Mayor Jeremy Farkas says royalties from high oil prices should help the city receive some much-needed help federally.
And bluntly, as more money is coming in at the provincial and federal governments, specifically around resource revenues, municipalities need a share of that in order to be able to meet the growing needs of our growing population.
The city's business community was hopeful to see more small business support to help a surging population.
We would have looked for some relief on the capital gains. We would have looked for some incentives for companies to continue to grow.
But Ottawa is forking out nearly $800 million towards sports to boost participation at the youth level and help upgrade facilities.
Certainly, as the mayor of a big city, I'm going to be advocating for as much of a fair share of that funding as possible.
Canadians may see some relief on the affordability front. The Carney government is reducing the contribution rate for the Canada Pension Plan starting next year, so someone earning $70,000 per year will get to keep $133 more of their take-home pay annually.
Overall, the federal government's going in the right direction. I'm not a liberal, but Carney seems to be doing good as far as I'm concerned.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The chain reaction of the war in Iran, the disruption of oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, and the surge in oil prices now have some people canceling travel plans. Many overseas flights have risen by hundreds of dollars. Tyler Barrow has more.
Nish Bahal is hopping on a flight for Winnipeg. This summer, he hoped to see his grandparents in Amsterdam.
I think I've reconsidered my travel plans, not just reconsidered, I've actually abandoned them. Because of the flight prices.
With the flow of oil through the Strait of Hormuz disrupted due to the conflict in Iran, flight prices are rising. According to one aviation expert, jet fuel has surged nearing $160 a barrel. Prior to the war, it was around $70 US.
Essentially more than doubled in the past 2 months. So that's put a lot of pressure on international carriers and domestic carriers in Canada as well.
Jet fuel accounts for over 25% of a plane's operating costs. To keep up with rising costs, WestJet introduced a fuel surcharge fee for those flying on a companion voucher. It also added a baggage fee. Similar measures Air Canada made. Those are before the fare charge.
It's increased our fares by 15 to 20% over the last 2 months. So we've had some significant price increases.
Travel agents are noticing hesitation around European summer vacations. Travelers are skeptical of high ticket prices, but also fearful a jet fuel shortage could leave them stranded.
Looking at going later in the year, perhaps, hoping that the fuel shortage crisis will end.
While WestJet is contemplating flight consolidation and route cancellations related to costs, a labor issue with its flight attendants is also coming to a head. The union has reached out to the Federal Labor Board for help as bargaining has been dragging on since September. Flight attendants are seeking improvements to their rest schedule.
We're also looking for wage increases. Our collective agreement was originally negotiated during COVID. It's been 5 very long years, and we need improvements across the board.
As it stands, there will be no flight disruptions in the near term. The company says it is committed to a meaningful collective agreement that is also sustainable for WestJet's future. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, if you are looking at going away, both the aviation expert and the travel agent we spoke with say it's still better to book now, as prices are only expected to rise.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in now for our 5-day forecast. I'm looking forward still to 20 degrees. Will we hit that this week?
We should hit that this week. In fact, we'll hit it a few times this week. At least that's what's in the forecast here. Because we have a lot of stability. We have ridges of high pressure building in. We have all the ingredients in place to give us this really warm and mainly bright spring-like weather. Maybe even feeling a little closer to summer later this week as well. All right, we got up to a high of 13 degrees in the city today. A normal daytime high for this time of year is 14. We're basically within a degree or two in all of southern Alberta, right where we should be for this time of year. So 13 Medicine Hat Brooks up through Drumheller, 12 in Calgary right now, 12 in Pincher Creek. Things are starting to slowly cool for the day. We had calm winds out there as well. Didn't even get to the 40 kilometer per hour mark for our gusts today. So calm winds, the winds will remain calm for tomorrow as well. We have a couple things going on. We talked about this late day instability for today. Because we do have a ridge of high pressure building in, it's not quite built in yet. And so we also have a stateside low that's passing through. That's forcing some air up the mountains. There is some thunderstorm activity, mainly stateside, but we have the potential of isolated showers in Calgary, off to the west, and all down Highway 2 towards Lethbridge and Pincher Creek. We have this really these isolated showers possible. right up until about 10:30 tonight, and then things stabilize and clear out. And that's because we have this ridge of high pressure that will build in, especially through the overnight hours and through tomorrow. That means stable weather. That also means the temperatures will be able to build underneath this ridge of high pressure over the next few days, and you'll definitely notice that. All right, so when we look at the futurecast here, there's that instability right up until about 10:30. By 11 o'clock, it should just be in the far southwest corner, and then it's out of the way through these overnight hours. Now, tomorrow we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud, but mainly sunny skies throughout the day as this ridge stabilizes. There will be some development off towards Rocky Mountain House of some isolated showers late day tomorrow, but it doesn't look like it will have enough steam because things will be so stable to make its way to QE2 or to Calgary. So mainly just a stable day, calm winds, a decent amount of sunshine, and certainly warm temps. This will continue through Friday, but you can see what's happening here. This weather pattern is going to start to shift. The jet stream will move down, and that will change the weather pattern Friday night through Saturday. So here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 16 with a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, 20 for Thursday, 20 for Friday. By Friday night, though, we get into the chance of rain. That will continue through Saturday. By Saturday, 1 to 3 millimeters of rain possible. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. A man has been charged with sexual assault after an investigation spanning nearly 3 years. In July of 2023, a woman was walking near Central Memorial Park around 1 o'clock in the morning when a man approached her and offered her money in exchange for sex. She refused, and the man sexually assaulted her and then ran away. The woman was treated at the Sheldon Schumer, and police gathered biological evidence but could not match the DNA with any suspects. Nearly a year and a half later, in December of 2024, another woman was sexually assaulted after refusing money for sex on 17th Avenue early in the morning. This time, police were able to identify a suspect and secure a warrant to obtain DNA from that person. Lab results then matched the sample with DNA collected from both assaults. 37-year-old Graeme Weldeselsa is now facing 2 counts of sexual assault. Police are asking any other potential victims to come forward. A man has been charged in a Calgary mall stabbing as the victim remains in critical but stable condition in hospital. Police say a man got a knife from his car and stabbed another man multiple times outside Pacific Place on 36th Street Sunday afternoon. The victim is in his 50s. 45-year-old Long Than Tran is charged with aggravated assault and possession of a dangerous weapon. Police believe the altercation was the result of an ongoing dispute. They are looking for witnesses who have not yet spoken with investigators or anyone who might have cell phone or dash cam video of the incident. Officials have declared a cryptosporidium outbreak at the Butterfield Acres petting farm in the city's northwest. Anyone who visited the petting farm on or before April 9th may have been exposed to the parasitic disease, also known simply as crypto. The disease is spread by people who've come in contact with infected feces. Most people will recover without treatment, but they may experience diarrhea, fever, nausea, vomiting, or belly pain. The farm is currently closed to the public. An organization that focuses on water issues is axed due to government cuts. Critics fear it will weaken environmental oversight at a time of growing drought and climate pressures. And later we'll hear from Calgary's newest poet laureate. Stay with us for that. Alberta's UCP government is shutting down a long-standing water advisory group, raising concerns about environmental oversight and future policy. The province calls it a tough but necessary cut. Critics say it could leave a major gap in how water is managed at a critical time. Mark Villani explains.
Environmental experts say Alberta is at risk of drought this summer, with 40 water shortage advisories already. Meanwhile, the need for more water is increasing with competing water demands for oil sands mines and AI data centers. And now those who provide water policy guidance in the province are seeing their work sent down the drain.
There's a real and intentional movement to intentionally deceive the public about what's going on with water.
The Alberta Water Council has advised governments on water management for more than 2 decades. But now the council is being shut down after losing provincial funding.
Unfortunately, with a $9.4 billion deficit, every department was asked to come up with 5% reductions.
So I don't know how you can save costs by firing volunteers.
Along with the Water Council, the province also shut down the Clean Air Strategic Alliance, 2 programs that together cost about $1 million.
Consensus decision-making has been the gold standard across Canada and across North America, with everybody at the table and everybody making those decisions and actually having a government that listens to Albertans.
The province argues it can get similar water information from 11 other water councils, but some say it's an attempt to silence environmental experts, citing other cuts, including the removal of a $5 million wetland resiliency program.
The ecological benefits derived from those projects that restore wetlands on the ground is in the billions of dollars annually.
Last month, Alberta also changed its Water Act, merging the Peace Slave and Athabasca basins into one, a move that now allows interbasin transfers for further water-intensive industrial projects.
So I think there's a variety of questions around what types of interbasin transfers are kind of being contemplated and needed, and what are the guardrails that are in place for that.
But with the council winding down operations, many are left wondering what's next.
What's going to replace it? Or will anything replace it?
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
The Alberta Water Council says it was given a 90-day notice to shut down, making it nearly impossible to find alternative funding. The province is increasing protection against invasive mussel species. A record 12 watercraft inspection stations will be operating between May 1st and September 30th. The province is also bringing in additional canine teams to detect zebra and quagga mussels, which can destroy ecosystems by disrupting food chains. The province says the mussels are becoming harder to keep out.
These species are nearly impossible to remove and can cause hundreds of millions of dollars in long-term costs. That's why prevention is not just our best option, it is the critical thing we need to do.
Nearly 22,000 boats were inspected in Alberta in 2025, with 13 found to be carrying mussels. Drivers who bring a boat into Alberta and fail to stop for an inspection can be fined up to $4,200. We'll talk about making a splash. These brothers are ready for spring and they're ready to play. Our trending videos are next. Two Calgary Stampeders and maybe even more excitingly, team mascot Ralph the dog helped some local students celebrate literacy today.
So in this program, in partnership with Scholastic, they're able to pick their books, they get to take it home with them, and it's amazing. And today the Kinsman Club has kindly donated all the money for the books for the kids, and it's a really amazing program, and truthfully it gets them reading.
The Kinsman Club of Calgary donated 200 books to Roland Michener School in the Northeast. It's part of the Educational Partnership Foundation's Reading Give It a Shot program. Students from kindergarten through to grade 6 earn literacy collector cards for logging reading minutes. Last year alone, more than 2 million literacy cards were distributed in Alberta schools. Calgary has a new poet laureate. Clara A.B. Joseph was sworn in at City Council today.
I'm very much aware that funding goes chiefly to the sciences. And so this is one way in which the arts is made visible. I'm quite grateful to the City of Calgary for doing this.
Joseph is an English professor at the University of Calgary and an award-winning poet and author. Her duties will include writing new poems on request from the city and making poetry more accessible for everyone. Joseph will hold the position until 2028. All right. Well, parents and grandparents, Glenn, know that siblings can either be friends or foes, right? These two you're going to see, they're double trouble.
Doesn't wash off for 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay, Maisie?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, boy. This is Jacob and Maisie. They seem pretty proud of the art on their faces. Their mom reminds them, that's not coming off for 24 hours. And they don't seem too concerned, but I don't think they actually know what 24 hours is.
Right.
So that's probably why they're not concerned.
Just hope my grandkids aren't watching right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't.
I mean, what's the difference that in face painting, right?
Yes, I don't know. Well, this seemed like an epic idea, but it soon turned into an epic fail. That's a cake pan. So Carol was inspired to bake her athletic husband a Superman cake. The final product looked a little more like a sumo wrestler than a bodybuilder. She let her followers know, I will not be quitting my day job because apparently this is not for me. It's the thought that counts, but I think the trick is in the icing, and maybe the cake underneath was great, but the icing job was not so great.
That's very poor. Let's just get right out there.
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't great.
Just eat it quickly. No one has to know about it. Well, a sure sign that spring is in the air. A couple of young black bears at the Oregon Zoo are welcoming the season by making a splash. How'd you like that guy sprinting into your hot tub? This is Timber and Thorn. They were spotted splashing and sparring in a 300-gallon tub. It's the first swim of the season for the pair. They wasted no time diving right in. These bears were rescued by wildlife officials in Alaska in 2023. They were orphaned and deemed too young to survive on their own. As you can see, they are doing just fine now.
Best day ever.
Yes.
Right?
Sparring like two brothers would.
Yeah.
Very cute.
There's going to be no water left.
Still to come, the UAE is getting out of OPEC. So what does that mean for the price of oil? We'll take a closer look when we return.
Skywatch weather camera. All right, around the city, in the city, there's some isolated pockets of showers. A lot of this evaporating before it hits the ground, but you can see by these clouds, we are getting some sprinkles around the city. Small chance of a non-severe thunderstorm over these next couple of hours, and then it really moves out completely for 10 p.m. tonight. We're currently sitting at 12 in the city. Today's high was 13, normal is 14, so we're right where we should be for this time of year, and we're going to climb much higher than this. There's a look at that instability. Again, starting to weaken at this point, but there's still the chance of showers. Calgary off to the west, down Highway 2 towards Lethbridge, really up until about 10:30 tonight. And it's because of this stateside system. It's pushing in that instability, pushing air up the mountains and creating this convective activity. The ridge of high pressure is building in, but it's not quite in yet, which is why we're getting this activity right now. But this will be in for tomorrow. And because of that, things will be stable for the next few days. And under that ridge, temperatures will be able to build. Also, this will shift down once again late Friday. So by Friday night, the weather pattern is going to change once again. Here's a 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace Fixed Right Or. It's free and not a whole lot to talk about. Isolated showers till 10 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud, 2 in the morning, 16 in the afternoon. All right, for Salmon Arm and Kelowna in the 20s for tomorrow. Kamloops as well. 19 degrees is a high for Edmonton. And yes, we will see some cloudy periods in southern Alberta, but we'll also see lots of sunshine in most communities as well. 16 is a high for Calgary, 18 for Drumheller, 17 for Lethbridge, 16 for Medicine Hat, and calm winds. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. A man is now charged with failing to stop at a stop sign after a heart-stopping crash was caught on video. 2 vehicles collided, narrowly missing young children at a Mahogany home. Neighbors say they often see dangerous driving in the community. The mayor and councillors say they have received hundreds of emails recently, almost all of them against a proposed water efficiency plan. It's going to include outdoor watering schedules. And council has voted to allow transit riders 2 hours to use ticket transfers starting in January. That is up from 90 minutes. The third largest oil producer in the world announced today it will be leaving the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. The United Arab Emirates' exit from OPEC raises questions about the organization's influence and also the future prices that Canadians may see at the pumps. Here's Jean-Véa Beauchemin.
Another plot twist in the story of gas prices' wild ride with a shakeup at OPEC. As of May 1st, the United Arab Emirates will be out of the oil exporting group, and the impact of the UAE's exit, say analysts, is still to be determined.
UAE wants to increase its output, but that's going to take time. Of course, getting into market is still a real challenge with that blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. So the volatility, unfortunately, and the sustained high prices, I think those are going to last for a while.
Well, it's going to be $200. I'm used to it at this point.
And Fizhank says he hasn't noticed the tax holiday Ottawa brought in to cushion the blow of rising costs.
Is there? There's supposed to be a tax holiday?
The excise tax holiday came into effect more than a week ago. The government estimated it would save Canadians about 10 cents a litre at the pump. But with negotiations over the Strait of Hormuz deadlocked, the price of oil worldwide has steadily risen in the past week. And so here's a look at how the tax holiday may be cushioning the blow. On April 14th, when Ottawa announced the cut, the national average was around 176 cents a litre. On April 19th, the day before the move came into effect, the price $174. April 21st, 164 cents a litre, the lowest price this month. Today it's back up to $1.75 a litre, around 9 cents lower than the highest price this year. Now all this as south of the border, Americans are paying the highest price at the pump in 4 years. That was in April 2022, shortly after Russia invaded Ukraine. Some drivers putting in a lot of kilometers say 10 cents a litre is small comfort.
But 10 cents is not...
But to others, anything helps as costs add up. There's still plenty of time for the price of gas to go up and down before the tax holiday ends. That's slated for September. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Honda has announced a recall for nearly 40,000 minivans in Canada due to a safety risk related to unexpected airbag deployment. A notice posted through Transport Canada shows certain Odyssey vehicle models from 2018 to 2022 are affected by the recall. Honda says a software issue can cause the airbags to deploy unexpectedly, resulting in possible injury. The automaker says owners of the affected vehicles will be notified by mail. There are still many questions about the new sovereign wealth fund, but still few answers. Here's BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez.
If you were looking for some clarity today on the sovereign wealth fund, you didn't get much in the update. The Canada Strong Fund is meant to support major infrastructure projects in the country. Ottawa is pledging $25 billion to the fund, and the federal government says Canadians will be able to put their own money in, but how isn't yet clear. The finance minister says it will be like buying a bond where the initial capital is protected. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.06. West Texas Intermediate is up over $3 to 99.93. Western Canadian Select is up $1.65 to 75.31. And the TSX lost 233 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
April 28th marks the National Day of Mourning by the Workers' Compensation Board. It's a day dedicated to honoring people who lost their lives due to work-related illnesses or injuries. Last year in Alberta, 144 people died, 82 from occupational disease, 39 from trauma, 20 from motor vehicle collisions, and 3 from other incidents. Today, the Calgary and District Labour Council hosted a wreath-laying ceremony at the Workers' Memorial at Edwards Place Park.
Every hour, 5.7 Albertans are injured. And that does not include invisible injuries like psychological injuries. Too many workers experience burnout, chronic stress, harassment, and mental health crises caused by unsafe working conditions.
This year's focus is on improving workplace psychological health and safety. The Stampeders are hoping to land some young talent from this side of the border. Coming up, Glenn tells us who they're going after in the Canadian draft. Calgary police will be in Vancouver during the World Cup of Soccer. They'll assist local police with patrolling FIFA-related events. The number of officers being deployed is not being released. The cost of the deployment is also not being revealed, but it will be covered by the Vancouver host city budget. CPS says there will be no impact to public safety here in Calgary. It is an important night in the CFL. Glenn is back with us. Glenn, it's time for teams to load up on some Canadian talent.
Tara, the CFL Canadian Draft, it is being held tonight. Calgary Stampeders in all, they have 8 picks at this year's draft, including the 6th pick in the first round. There's a shot of Dave Dickinson in the war room with all of his staff. It was the Ottawa Red Blacks who had the first pick overall, and they went with Purdue offensive lineman Giordano Vaccaro. Okay, let's get back to the Stampeders. They had the 6th overall pick, as mentioned. In the first round, they selected linebacker Eric Rasko out of Angelo State. The soon-to-be 26-year-old is from Texas, but his mom is Canadian. He destroyed it in the CFL Combine, posting 90th percentile in 5 different categories, and Dickinson very happy about the pick.
This kid is he's got structure, he's got support, he's disciplined, he's motivated, he's a football player. It was a good pick for us. We were excited. It's funny how you meet people and I met his dad up at the Combine, and I just felt like this guy really wants to play in the CFL. He wants to play football, and he feels like this would be a great opportunity.
Rasko kind of has that Alex Singleton feel about him. The Stamps will now have to wait until the 3rd round, where they have a pair of picks, This year's second was Delta BC as part of Vernon Adams, trade. Still with the CFL, there's going to be some big changes in 2027, and it's not just the rules. The season's going to start earlier, which means the Grey Cup game will be played on November the 7th. On top of that, 8 of the 9 teams will qualify for the playoffs. This is how the format is going to work. The first and second place teams in each division will face off against each other, the winner advancing to the semifinal. The loser will take on the winner of the 3-4 game. Things are going to get very interesting in the CFL in 2027. To the NHL playoffs now, the Edmonton Oilers are on the brink of elimination. The Oilers need a win tonight in Edmonton or their season is over. Give the Anaheim Ducks some credit. So far, they've been the better team in this series and are full marks for a 3-1 series lead. The Oilers know what's at stake and vow they'll leave it all on the table in game number 5. But here's what could make things a little tougher for the Oilers. The best player in the game may not play tonight. Head coach Chris Knobloch revealed Connor McDavid is a game-time decision.
Ultimately, everybody's got to step it up a little bit, and playoffs is a tough time to play. It's tight checking. There's not much room, and we're playing a good team with Anaheim. Right now, we need those guys that are healthy being able to pick up the slack for the guys who can't play like they want to.
I think every team has things that they have to battle through, and obviously it's not ideal right now at the moment, but we got to find a way to grind through it, and we got to find a way to stick through it, and we'll look to do that tonight.
They've played so many playoff rounds in the last few years that they're hardened to this type of situation, and so we can't expect anything but their best. And I think ourselves, one more thing we can find out about our group. I'm looking forward to seeing us respond to a big challenge.
Jason Dickinson, also a game-time decision. Game 3 of the WHL's Eastern Conference Final goes tonight in Medicine Hat. The two teams split the first 2 games in Prince Albert. The Raiders beat up on the Tigers in Game 1. 8-3 was your final score, but the Tigers would rebound in a big way in Game 2, taking down the Raiders 5-0. This should be a good long series. The winner goes on to face Everett or Penticton in the WHL final. The Silvertips in command in the Western Conference final. They lead the Vs 3-0. Puck drop for tonight's game in Medicine Hat in just a few minutes' time.
Thank you, Glenn. Final peek of the weather, Danielle. We have some really nice days ahead.
We do. Yeah, this is stuff to look forward to, especially after last week. And I will say that all the weather we had last week, all that snow and cold, none of that is in the long-range forecast, at least for the next 10 days. Okay, 16 degrees tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud, mainly sunny on Thursday, 20 degrees and 20 degrees on Friday. The weather pattern shifts Friday night through Saturday. We'll get some rain. We do need the moisture, and then back to 20 for Sunday. All right, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And Chris Peterson sent this one in. He took this near Pritis today, just showing the isolated showers and some of the virga where it evaporates before it hits the ground. That was happening in Pritis and all around for today.
You can almost feel that cloud over you. That is a great shot. You know what it feels like to be outside on a day like that.
Yes, and then none of that tomorrow.
Great. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you for your company. We'll see you again tomorrow.